you've got literally everything you could possibly have. You as president are independently wealthy. It's your last term. You don't have to pander to anybody.
If a good successor sat in the same organization already.
If you can't fix it then, well, how do you fix it? That would be the question.
Oh my God. So once again, these ass kissers can't say, you know what? Trump had the popular vote, he had the vote, and he had this, and he had the House, and he had the Senate, he had the blah, blah, blah. He directed all the people he wanted, all the millionaires and billionaires into these important roles. But if it can't be fixed, then it's not his fault, right? Has it crossed his mind that maybe, just maybe, Trump is part of the establishment? So just in case you don't understand how voting for individuals, and then when they win and get into that seat that you voted for them to do, let me just break this down really simple, okay? Hey, follow along. When they get into that position, they need to make good on those promises, because they told you they're going to do X, Y, and Z. And if they don't do X, Y, and Z, but, you know, for kicks and giggles, they do A, B, and C, then you should be upset. You should be like, hey, time out, Mr. You. Okay, I voted for you to do X, Y, and Z, but you did A, B, and C. So guess what? I'm going to see you out of here. You don't get another 4 terms. That is not a guarantee no more. If you don't deliver what you have promised, I am not going to vote for you. That seems pretty simple, right? So when it comes to Trump winning in 2024, he is now the president. Hey, congratulations. You know, it's going to be a long 4 years, okay? But it is weird how Republican voters are now kind of in this, between this rock and a hard spot, okay? Because Trump said he's going to do all these crazy things, and now that he's in office, he's kind of backtracking on some things. You know what I'm saying? And you know, as the years kind of roll out, we're going to be able to really see if he kept good on his promises or not, or if he was just, once again, like a used car salesman telling them some fluff. And these idiots bought it, you know. But his last 4 years, his first term, he promised some pretty crazy things. One, ending global wars, which he didn't. He actually did one of the stats, I forget, but he damn near tripled the amount of drone strikes and deaths, more than Obama. And Obama was number one until Trump won. So, I mean, that's a little weird, right? When it comes to mass deportations, he said the same things. We're going to get them out of here. They're going to all go. Nothing happened. Implementing tariffs, he actually said he was going to do that, and he did, and he had to retract that because it was actually hurting American farms. That kind of sucks, right? When it comes to building the wall, Mexico was going to pay for it. Where's the check at? I'm still waiting for the check. Can somebody show me where the check is at? Because that's what Donald Trump has promised. But no, he used American money, American taxpayer money, me and you, our money, for a wall, check this out, that he didn't even finish. I'm a little confused on why people think all of a sudden now he's going to actually get things done, but he failed to do that the last 4 years. So my question, if you're a Trump supporter, and God bless your heart, if you clicked on this video, you got a little balls on you, okay? I got a question for you. If he doesn't deliver on half, okay, or more than half, or any of the essential promises he made to you for you to get up and vote for his racist, unintellectual ass, if he doesn't deliver on that, are you going to say he failed? Are you going to say, you know what? He didn't do what he was supposed to do, so therefore he didn't deliver. He wasn't a good president in my eyes, or whatever the case is. Are you going to man up or woman up, if if that makes sense. Are you going to say that he failed at delivering X, Y, and Z? But of course, we always got an idiot that's like, you know what? I want to say, because I know how a fair, intellectual, honest person will handle this question. I know how they will answer it, but unfortunately, I'm a grifter, and my audience, my paycheck relies on me lying and just ignoring reality to simple questions like this. And yes, it's not our number one, because there's a lot of grifters out there, but he's probably like number 5th, maybe 6th on my list. All right. Let's listen to what he has
What
to say.
happens if Trump fails to deliver change?
That's an interesting question. I think all of the things that many of us have been saying about the decline of the...
Okay, you know what? Let's try this again. Maybe I clicked on the wrong video halfway through. I know I had to do some changes, but oh boy, Chris, he asked a pretty simple question, which sometimes is best to give a pretty simple answer and then go into detail as the conversation goes on. Let's try this again.
What happens if Trump fails to deliver change?
Then he fails at being the president that people voted for him to be. Simple. Next question. But no, we got to go on this long rant. Trust me, it's long, but we're going to sit through it. If I had to do it, you're going to do it too. He's going to go on this long rant before he kind of gives a BS sitting on the fence type of answer, because he can't speak bad about Daddy Trump. Okay, let's go.
That's an interesting question. I think all of the things that many of us have been saying about the decline of the West are going to come back 100 times, because what you then see is there's literally no way out.
It's unfixable.
There's no way out. There's no way out. So the reason I think a lot of people were relieved, as I was at least in this election.
Trump won.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, not answering the question, but I guess this is a way to sound intellectual, like say everything but the answer and then have a BS answer. So it makes it feel like you had a really, maybe, I don't know.
The feeling for me was, well, at least there's choice. Like in the UK, you don't have choice. On the issues that I care about, right, which is our country being prosperous, immigration being beneficial to the country. I'm pro lots and lots of immigration.
As an immigrant.
If it's beneficial to the country. I'm against even small levels of immigration that are detrimental to the country. And I'm completely against illegal immigration for that reason. And as you know, again, the woke shit, grinds my gears. So,
okay. Oof. Trust me, I could have made an entire video based off the dumb-ish he just said within 7 seconds. Okay, but I'm going to refrain. No. First off, as an immigrant, you need to just shut your mouth when it comes to, I'm pro-immigrant when it's useful. What are you talking about? What are you contributing to America? What have you built? What structure? At least Elon Musk, he didn't build rockets, but at least, he didn't make the money. He got it from government. Do you see my point? Hey, you are in America, be an American and just let other people get their dreams. Okay, don't be an obstacle for the same people that were in your shoes, or probably even worse. 9 times out of 10, even worse. Do not be a roadblock for those people. I agree if it's useful for America. You are literally doing nothing except for carrying the water of the racist Republican Party like a water boy. This is the dumb looking water boy of 2025 right here. I'm gonna carry the water for Donald Trump. You are embarrassing for immigrants across the world. You are the number one embarrassment for everybody else. Okay, you know what? I'm done. Let's continue.
On all of that stuff, we don't have a choice in this country. We haven't had a choice for 14 years. The conservative government that's just left is virtually indistinguishable from the Labour Party that's just come in, to the point where the Labour leader is attacking the Conservatives for their failure on mass immigration. And everyone's going, well, he's got a point. I mean, he's going to make it worse, but he's got a point. Do you know what I mean? So in America, at least the feeling was, well, okay, they actually have choice. They can choose. If you don't want this continued slide into managed decline, you can vote for something else.
Pivot.
Okay, first off, hey, maybe it's because he's an immigrant. He doesn't understand the functionalities of this broken democracy. Once again, I use that very loosely because we can get into the nitty gritty of how we don't really have a choice. If you just look at the Electoral College and just see how, just for no reason, just a big mush of BS, you would not think this is how a democracy should be ran. It's easier to vote for who you want in American Idol than it is to vote for the candidate that you want. If you live in a red state, God bless your heart. If people say I live in a blue state, so my vote really doesn't matter, so I'm just going to vote for Captain America. I've heard that, and I hope they actually made through on that promise. If you just take a few seconds to look at this, you will understand it is some BS. Nobody essentially wanted Trump. Nobody essentially wanted Joe Biden in 2020. Nobody wanted Harris. But, let's continue.
If you vote for that something else and you don't actually end up having that choice.
Okay, now we're getting to the answer after a minute 45. Let's get to the answer, okay?
And you don't actually end up having that choice, then you're in deep
Holy
trouble.
fuck.
And as you probably know, in the fringes of right-wing discourse, the Curtis Yarvins of the world.
Not super familiar. I've met Curtis, but I'm not super familiar with
he's an interesting guy, but it's not even about him specifically. There are a lot of people who up until this point were increasing in profile because they were saying something that I don't necessarily agree with, but I see the logic of, and that is, what good is democracy if you can't vote for the things that you want? If you can't vote your way out of this, is that democracy or is that a fake democracy? And therefore, if it's a fake democracy, then you're not living in a place of choice. You're living in a place where there's a tyrannical authoritarian structure that's telling you, you must have net zero, you must have woke, you must have DEI.
It's just got a much more sophisticated
Okay. Who is giving this guy information here? First off, please define what woke is, okay? First and foremost, do that so we can have a better understanding of what you mean when you say woke, okay? Second off, how did Joe Biden, okay, we'll use him, or even Harris when she was running on her campaign and she had a 9-page of her policies that she wanted to implement, very detailed, and I know that because I read the 3 times, okay? Tell me what was woke about their policies and how did they try to force that on people? Once again, I'm not talking about weirdos on TikTok or on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever media people are on these days. I want to know the leaders of the Democratic Party, how they were trying to force wokeness onto people. Once again, if you can't articulate that in a better, more defined, refined way, I'm sorry, you're just saying nothing but a bunch of BS. That's simple. But, you know, of course, you know, he's sitting there, you know, doing the hand taps on the table, and he's doing all this poetic stuff with his hands. So it makes him sound like he's smart, like he's actually saying something. But I watched this like 4 times, and he's just saying things. He's not getting to a point of what he's talking. The question was, if Trump doesn't deliver what he said, what is your opinion on that? And he took it all around, and now we're talking about Democrats and wokeness.
Have net zero, you must have woke, you must have DEI.
It's just got a much more sophisticated delivery mechanism that makes you feel like you're playing the game.
You're living in the matrix, right? You're being given this soma, whatever you want to call it. You're being given this drug that makes you feel like you're living in some
on a piece of ballot paper.
Yes. But actually, you're living in hell, in which you're stuck with the things that you hate. And even if the majority of you get together and vote against this, it will still happen.
The same outcome occurs.
So their argument is, democracy's not working. Why don't we look at alternatives? And alternatives are, you know, that explains the fascination that, as I say, fringes of the right increasingly have with the Putins of the world. Because it's like, well, this is like a strong man who actually fixed his country, you know.
No. See, hey, that is the mindset of an individual with a weak chin right there. Okay, hey, you know what? I try to be civilized, okay? I try not to attack people, you know, but when you say the most BS stuff and you have a chin like that, you have a reset button clear as day like that, okay? I need you to be careful on what you say. Because he said the fringes of the right, which, once again, I don't know how fringe it is with, in my opinion, that's about 75% of the Republican Party. So I don't know how fringe this really is. We literally have Tucker Carlson, the face of media in regards to the Republican Party, kicking it with Putin, saying Putin's not a bad guy. He went to Russia, was like, there's nothing wrong over here. This is a beautiful place. Look, they have cute little buggies. Yes, that's what he said. I watched the interview. It was a lot of ass kissing. But he said, you have, you know, now the fringes of the right are like looking up to the Putins because he's a strong man and he fixed this country. You know the Republican Party done lost their effing mind that they're now praising and glorifying an individual like Putin. Back in my day, which I'm only 37, I'm not that old, so I don't know why I said back in my day, but when I was younger, the communist Chinese and Putin in Russia were like countries you want to stay away from. Those were countries that America would wipe off the map if they could, on how bad media painted them. But now you have Mr. Weak Chin here saying, oh, the fringe right are like now looking up to the Putins. What reality are we living in right now? What? Really? But okay. Mr. Weak Chin, please continue.
And if Trump fails, I don't see why those voices wouldn't get louder.
That's very interesting.
I can't see a logical reason why that wouldn't be the case. Do you?
No, I mean, you can continue to sort of play the game. I'm sure that people that don't like Trump would say, yeah, but he was inefficient. He was unable to do this thing. It's because the policies were pointing in the wrong direction. We can fix it through a different pathway, et cetera, et cetera. But given that there was a majority of people that voted for him, it not being disheartening and disenchanting to the democratic process, especially with all of the power of the smartest guy in the world, the companies and the rockets and the fucking dance moves on stage and stuff. What else did you want? But yeah, I'm fascinated by that question. What happens in 4 years' time if change hasn't been delivered?
If you can't fix it when you've got...
Now, hopefully, he's going to answer the question. what happens if Trump fails to deliver? What is going to be your opinion? Can you answer the question?
But the Senate, the Congress, the popular vote, the tech bro oligarchs,
David Sachs now.
David Sachs, you've got a lot of the new media on your side, which is so powerful now in America. You've got literally everything you could possibly have. You as president are independently wealthy. It's your last term. You don't have to pander to anybody.
Mm-hmm. If a good successor sat in the same organization already.
If you can't fix it then, well, how do you fix it? That would be the question.
Oh my God. So once again, these ass kissers can't say, you know what? Trump had the popular vote, he had the vote, and he had this, and he had the House, and he had the Senate, he had the blah, blah, blah. He directed all the people he wanted, all the millionaires and billionaires into these important roles. But if it can't be fixed, then it's not his fault, right? Has it crossed his mind that maybe, just maybe, Trump is part of the establishment that doesn't want to shake things up too much? I mean, hence, look at the people he put into his cabinet. They're all millionaires and billionaires. Do you think he's really going to shake things up to mess up their profits, to mess up their deals with their shareholders for their stock markets? Do you really? So he's not going to shake things up too much. Hey, this is just a crazy idea. I'm spitballing right now, okay? Tell me how I'm going. He's not going to shake things up too much. Shake it up just for, to get a couple of, applauds and good jobs, but not shake it up too much because he knows who paid, who put money into his pocket. Hence Elon Musk, once again, over $270 million. But no, if he doesn't fix the issues, healthcare, low quality jobs, poor wages, expensive education, no opportunities. If he doesn't fix those core things that American people needs, it's not his fault, right? Oh, it just can't be fixed. Weak Chin, I promise you, bro. Get some hair on your chest. Get some hair on your nuts, man. Say it with your chest.
Question a lot of people ask in that situation. So Trump must not fail, because if he does, that in many ways was the last chance that the West had of turning things around.
What happens if it goes well? You mentioned about Trump has the opportunity to hard reset sort of the Western world.
I think if he does well, if the economy grows rapidly and sustainably, if he closes the border and deals with illegal immigration and crime, if he
first off, sorry to bust your bubble here. Okay, first off, when it comes to immigration, he's actually siding with Elon Musk and Vivek on the H-1B visas. Doesn't sound like he's closing the borders to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a little weird, a little disingenuous for him to just assume he didn't do this on his first term, but he's just going to magically do this on his second one. Okay, I got you.
Closes the border and deals with illegal immigration and crime. If he ends DEI and all of this neo-racism in the institutions, if he makes energy cheap, if he ends the foreign conflicts that he promised to end.
What does any of that have to do with the core essentials that American people need? DEI? Is DEI preventing me from getting an affordable house with the income that I have? And trust me, my income is not too bad, and I still can't get a house. It is too effing much here in Colorado. Healthcare. Is DEI making healthcare unaffordable? Once again, it's a little weird. We're talking about things that are not going to affect people's needs, their material needs. No, don't talk about the terrorists he wants to slap on everything, and how every person who understands how terrorists works is saying, hey, that is not a good idea if you want prices to go down. But okay, let's continue.
I think that is something that is that's undeniable proof that that movement offers is better than what we had. That's why people voted for him the way that they did, and that means that will give massive inspiration to people around the world, especially the Western world. I think that's undeniably the case.
Do you think it would give inspiration to the UK?
I think it will. That does not mean, for the reasons that we already discussed, that will necessarily. That does not mean that will necessarily result in a political victory, but that will give inspiration to people around the world, for sure.
In other news.
All right. So once again, we're going to close with this because people didn't vote for Trump because of his policies. 9 times out of 10, a Trump supporter could not explain in any substantive detail of policies that he has. Okay, people didn't vote for him because of his policies. They voted for him because he's crazy. He says some cool, funny things, and he's like a guy you can have a beer with. So let's just get that BS out the way. Okay, Trump is getting into office, and the economy is starting to already, before he got elected, was already in an upward incline when it comes to inflation, unemployment, the number of jobs that are created within America. Like, it's already looking good. So when he steps into office, of course, you're going to have the idiots like that weak chin that we just seen saying, oh, look it, things are already looking better. Really? That magically happened under Trump, right? No. Understand how things work. And it takes more than just an overnight coincidence for things like inflation to get better. It takes actual months of things, a lot of smaller things working behind the background to make things go down. So it's a process. But they don't understand that. And just like when Trump got into office after Obama, hey, look at me, everything is all well and dandy because of me. No, it was because of Obama and all the work he put in to hand over something good to you. And do you know why he lost in 2020, Trump? Is because he made everything worse by the bad decisions he made. So my question is, let's see if people can answer this. Why do we think he's going to all of a sudden turn a new leaf? All of a sudden learn how to intellectually understand things, complicated things, and make the best decision for the American people? He didn't do that his first term. Why do we think he's going to do that now? I'm a little confused too. But once again, guys, hey, how you doing? If you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, let me know in the comments down below, or hit that Discord button so me and you can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation.